रञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनतीरावनचारि यमुनातीरावनचारि जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। अनंतराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरद्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नीलाचलनिवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्रा सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः. Hare Krishna. Double blessings. Thank you. I need a lot of blessings, that's sure. Hare Krishna. So today we will be studying from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 3, text number 15 and 16. Is it visible now? Okay. So the two verses. I'll recite first one, then second one we'll recite together. न ददर्श प्रतीच्छन्नं वाल्मीका तृणकीचकै पिपीलिकाभिर् आचीर्णं मेधस्त्वन्मांसश्रोणितम् तपन्तं तपन्तं तपसा लोकान् यथा भ्रापितं रविं विलक्ष्य विस्मितः प्राह असंसतं हंसवाहना तपन्तं तपसा लोकान् यथा भ्रापितं रविं विलक्ष्य विस्मतः प्राह असंस्तं हंसवाहना तपन्तं तपसा लोकान् यथा भ्रापितं रविं विलक्ष्य विस्मितः प्राह असंस्तं हंसवाहना. विस्मितः प्राह तपन्तं लोकान् विलक्ष्य विस्मितः प्राह Vaishnavis. Word to word translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ji ki jai. Na, not. Tadarsha, saw. Pratichannam, covered. Valmik, by an anthill. Trina, grass. Kichakai, and bamboo sticks. Pipilikabi, by the ants. Achirnam, eaten all around. Medaha, whose fat. Twas skin. Mamsa, the flesh. Shonitam, and blood. Tapantam, heating. Tapasa, by a severe type of penance. Lokan, all the three worlds. Yatha, just as. Abra, by clouds. Apihitam, covered. Ravim, the sun. Vilakshya, seeing. Vismitaha, struck with wonder. Praha, said. a son smiling, thumb to him. Hamsamavahana, Lord Brahma, who rides a swan airplane. Translation: Lord Brahma, who is carried by a swan airplane, at first could not see where Hiranyakashipu was, for Hiranyakashipu's body was covered by an anthill and by grass and bamboo sticks. Because Hiranyakashipu had been there for a long time, the ants had devoured his skin, fat, flesh, and blood. Then Lord Brahma and the demigods spotted him, resembling a cloud covered sun, heating all the world by his austerity. Struck with wonder, Lord Brahma began to smile and then addressed him as follows. Purport: the living entity can live merely by his own power without the help of skin, marrow, bone, blood, and so on, because it is said, Asangohi ayam purushaha. The living entity has nothing to do with the material covering. Hiranyakashipu performed a severe type of tapasya, austerity, for many long years. Indeed, it is said that he performed the tapasya for 100 heavenly years. Since one day of the demigod is equals 6 of our months, certainly this was a very long time. By nature's own way, his body had been almost consumed by earthworms, ants, and other parasites, and therefore even Brahma was at first unable to see him. Later, however, Brahma could ascertain where Hiranyakashipu was, and Brahma was struck with wonder to see Hiranyakashipu's extraordinary power to execute tapasya. Anyone would conclude that Hiranyakashipu was dead because his body was covered in so many ways. But Lord Brahma, the supreme living being in this universe, could understand that Hiranyakashipu was alive but covered by material elements. It is also to be noted that although Hiranyakashipu performed this austerity for a long, long time, he was nonetheless known as a Daitya and Rakshasa. It will be seen from verses to follow that even great saintly persons could not perform such a severe type of austerity. Why then was he called a Rakshas or and Daitya? It is because whatever he did was for his own sense gratification. His son Prahlad Maharaj was only 5 years old, and so what could Prahlad do? Yet simply by performing a little devotional service according to the instructions of Narada Muni, Prahlad became so dear to the Lord that the Lord came to save him, whereas Hiranyakashipu, in spite of all his austerities, was killed. This is the difference between devotion service and all other methods of perfection. One who performs severe austerities for sense gratification is fearful to the entire world, whereas a devotee who performs even a slight amount of devotional service is a friend to everyone. Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. Since the Lord is well wisher of every living entity, and since a devotee assumes the qualities of the Lord, a devotee also acts for everyone's good fortune by performing devotional service. Thus, although Hiranyakashipu performed such a severe austerity, he remained a Daitya and a Rakshasa, whereas Prahlad Maharaj, although born of the same Daitya father, became the most exalted devotee and was personally protected by the Supreme Lord. Bhakti is therefore called Sarvopadi Vinirmuktam, indicating that the devotee is freed from all material designations and Nyabilashita Shunyam, situated in transcendental position, free from all material desires. Hare Krishna. So I seek the blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis to speak something in Parampara for the pleasure of their lordships, Srila Prabhupada, and all the assembled Vaishnavas, and for my own purification. This is Srimad Bhagavatam, Amal Puran, the crest jewel of all Vedic literatures. Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prem Pumarto Mahan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam Tatradharanaparaha. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the certificate, gave the endorsement that Srimad Bhagavatam is the Amal Puran, and there is nothing beyond that. In this beautiful transcendental literature, the exclusive glorification of Lord and his pure devotees and pure devotion service is going on. And through these wonderful pastimes of the great Bhagavatas, the great personalities, we are able to um, receive a mirror in which we can reflect in our own life and purify our consciousness, purify our practice to live up to the standard of pure devotion service. So, in this section where right now Hiranyakashipu is doing tapasya and trying to get some powers, eventually he will ask for immortality from Lord Brahma. So Hiranyakashipu is doing very, very serious, severe tapasya, and such severe tapasya that even many great sages cannot do. And Srila Prabhupada brings out a lot of contrast between Hiranyakashipu's severe tapasya, not bringing great results in one sense, versus Prahlad, who was doing simple devotion service but had better results. So today we will try to study from on the basis of Srimad Bhagavatam the differences which Srila Prabhupada first of all brings out in this purport between person who is like Hiranyakashipu versus Prahlad, and then on that basis we'll try to discuss general principles of three types of personalities. Abhakta means non-devotee, then Sakama devotee and Nishkama devotee. So in this section, Prahlad Maharaj versus Hiranyakashipu, the first difference which Srila Prabhupada brings is the process. Prahlad's service is very selfless, sweet, simple devotion service, while Hiranyakashipu is doing severe austerities, such severe austerities which we can't even conceive of actually. But it's all for personal sense gratification. So Prahlad is all for Krishna. Ayatuke pratiyata yatma suprasidati. Well, Hiranyakashipu is all for oneself. So he was doing very severe tapasya. If we are chanting the holy name and some ant bites us, I think we'll first of all deal with the ant, then chant the holy name. But Hiranyakashipu's body, flesh, everything was consumed. You know, he was not visible only. You know, he was keeping his prana in just I don't know, some technical details must be there, but he was able to handle himself to be there without the body, you know. So his process of austerity was extremely severe. We see in today's world also there are people. If you go to Kumbh Mela, there are people who will be like yogis who are sleeping on the like thorns, some very strong, pinpointed things. I've actually seen some people put a, you know, needle from here to there, and God knows what all they do to get out of the bodily consciousness. And we are taking prasadam after Bhagavatam. Yeah. Our process is very kevala ananda kanda, susukam kartumam yaya. If you feel hungry in between, also you can take also. we keep water bottle beside us while taking chanting. So our process is very simple. Devotional austerities are not very uh, dry, and they are not very hard also. While we see, like, who was that, Vrikasur or Bhasmasur, he was ready to cut his head to please Lord Shiva and all that. So those people who are actually uh, plagued with lower ideas of life, they actually take a more austerities but gain less. You know, I saw when I went to Kumbh Mela with my mother, father, Mahakumbh. They wanted to take bath, so I went. And of course, we can go for preaching, but I did not get the opportunity to do that. I got to witness the way people go. So anyway, they were going in trains which were so full that people were not able to enter despite having a book ticket. And then they were going in such, like, it takes a lot to actually. There were 45 crore people, but then people were so eager to go that they were ready for all types of austerities. You know? And once they reach there, they want to basically get free from Papa. They know that in this Mahakumbh, the Shahi Snan and all that, they're just wanting freedom from Papa. But they don't have any clue to what is actually Papa also. Forget about freedom from Papa. Before taking a bath in the Mother Ganga, they are eating Rajnigandha Pan Masala. And they take bath, and after coming out also they again take Prasidhyana. And just that moment when they did not take that was when they were in the Ganga. Anyway, but they did a lot of austerity in trying to go to the place. So that austerity, to their credit, but yeah, they cannot perform simple austerity of chanting one round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which is more powerful than taking the dip in the Triveni Sangam. You know, they don't have to go to Triveni Sangam. You know, Prabhupada used to say Ganga is flowing in Calcutta also. People go from Calcutta to Haridwar to take dip in Ganga. Ganga is there only. You know? So when you don't know the essence of dharma, then you make such complicated dharmas which are not required only. Really, after coming to devotional service, many things get simplified. If you don't remember the mantra, chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Our life is very simple. And outside people really feel these people are too, they're reducing too many things. Itna bhi kya. When I took my mother, father for this Rameshwaram, so in that there are these 21 wells. So they were very happy. Oh, beta, aaj to, today we took bath in 21 tirthas. And I was chanting holy name continuously. I said, one holy name is better than these 21 tirthas. Beta, you don't understand. And I was telling you don't understand. So people like to do something little more, cumbersome. Uh, some gymnastics should be there. Otherwise, they don't feel kuch kiya. No? So they want to do havan. They will do some yagna in their home. Then they chant holy name. That is better. Yagna is not worthy to be done. That fellow who is coming to do yagna in the home, he is eating pan also, and he's has no purity of practice also, and still they do the yagna because they think there's something going on. So anyway, the process. So of course, Hiranyakashipu was having even much, 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 much higher. I'm talking about the Kali Yuga Jiva's austerity level, which is nothing. But still, they do more austerity than us. We can actually, even people who want to like enjoy, ordinary material life, like in the sense, like when I was in college, so people uh, would see us at 4 o'clock in the morning. They were going to bed and we were getting up. You know, so they would say, "Hey, you are doing so much tapasya. Hmm? You got up so early." And I said, "You have done so much tapasya. You didn't sleep only till now." You know? Who has done more? you know, and they have been watching some computer game. Cut, 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 cut. The eyes have become gulab jamun. We have taken good rest. Now we will chant the holy name and dance in the kirtans. Who is doing more tapasya? Actually, Krishna consciousness is Kevalananda Kanda. Jai Shri Shri Gaurangi Bangalore Shri Shri Jagannath Subhadra Shri Shri Narsingh Dev Prahlad Maharaj Shri Varadev Shri Shri Gaurnidai Shri Shaligram Shilas and Govardhan Ji Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. I'm trying to remember. It's amazing how the pujaris are able to take all the items. I was seeing the hand. Takes a lot to worship, right? There's so many wonderful personalities in your world. It's a transcendental spiritual world. All the lokas are manifested together. So, so people do more austerity actually, but that is not called austerity. That is called kashta. The tapasya means when we do when we voluntarily take inconvenience for a higher purpose. But these people are simply for sense gratification. Anyway, so Hiranyakashipu was doing austerity. The next one is relationship. So relationship with the Supreme Lord, feelings and dealings with the Supreme Lord. So he became so dear to the Supreme Lord that the Lord came to save him. Satyam Vidhatum Nijavrityabhashitam. Versus he killed Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu had all the power to control the demigods, but he was finished in no moment, few moments by Lord Narsingha. Dealings with other living entities. I'll elaborate on others in the future part of it. So dealing with other living entities. So Prabhupada is saying they are fearful to all the entire creation. when Hiranyakashipu was doing the tapasya, it was making everyone get heated up. The whole Brahmanda was getting heat. And later on, when he got powers, he was terrorizing the whole universe. You know. He was the biggest terrorist in the creation ever. You know, no one has done such terrorist activity as Hiranyakashipu. So he was so he would terrorize the demigods. At the blink of his eye, the sun would come out. At the blink of his eye, the moon would come out, because they were just at the beck and call of Hiranyakashipu. While Prahlad was the friend of everyone, Suhritam Sarvabhutanam. And the purification of heart for this Hiranyakashipu who did so much austerity, he did not get purified. Prahlad Maharaj, he heard from Narad Muni, followed devotional service, he became a pure devotee of the Lord. There's one more difference I would like to mention. One was fearless despite no power. One was fearful despite all power. No, so so that comes from faith. We can see more examples of pure devotional service versus other people. Other people examples which I mentioned are not demons like Hiranyakashipu, but we'll soon come to why I'm mentioning their names. So Prithu versus Indra. Indra did Shatakrutu, 100 yagnas. Prithu Maharaj gave it up. But he pleased the Supreme Lord, and he became more dear to the Lord. You know, Indra remained with his heavenly planet only, but Prithu Maharaj got pure devotional service, loving love from the Supreme Lord. The Lord personally came to be with him, and he was not able to leave him because of the transcendental attachment he developed for Prithu. Vritrasur versus Indra. Indra did all the gymnastic because he called Vishwarup. Then he killed Vishwarup. He beheaded him, and later on they wanted somehow to kill Vritrasura. They did all so much process, and then they got that kavach, Narayan kavach. They got the dhanush to make from uh, Dadiji Muni's bones to kill Vritrasura. And after that also they are very fearful, and he sent out the thunderbolt to the thunderbolt, his own thunderbolt, and then Vritrasura just threw it back. Then he felt now nothing will work. Then he said, "You fool! You use what has been given by Vishnu." You know? So Vritrasura is giving instruction how to kill him. You know? And Vritrasura is completely transcendental, fearless. So the great souls remain completely fearless, completely surrendered to the Lord. While the demigods also, despite so much effort to protect their body, despite drinking Amrit every day, they remain full of fear. Similarly, Gopas versus demigods. When Gopas were entering into Agasur's mouth, they were fearless. Let us enjoy life, no problem. And some were saying, hey, this is a snake, huh? Very dangerous fellow. No problem. Krishna will be there. We'll see one more Leela of Krishna. No problem. They were like, having a good party. But demigods were fearful. My God, this Agasur, if Krishna also entered the mouth, what will happen and all? Because of material attachment, they can't be free of anxiety, security, insecurity. Another example is milk drinking brahmachari. Actually, milk drinking brahmachari Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says he was an impersonalist, and he was not just only drinking milk; he was drinking uncooked milk, and he would take everything uncooked only. He would take fruits also, but only uncooked item. That was his austerity. That's Bhaktisiddhanta's comment there. So he had taken a vow like that, and he was an impersonalist. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, vehemently condemned his stand, and he said, "Can he take darshan of my dance by simply drinking only milk?" No. So he was chastised and thrown out. But while being thrown out, he became grateful for getting to see some dance and also getting chastisement. Because that gratitude descended in his heart, that gratitude became a qualification to see eternally the dance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And all that austerity that he was doing of milk drinking, only uncooked milk, all that had only chastisement to bear. You know. So devotional service is so sweet that simply by the change of attitude, you can enter eternal existence. And thousands and thousands of lifetimes of drinking only milk will not bring us any grace of the Supreme Lord also. You know? So devotional service, when we are performing, we have to have very great clarity that what are the factors which make our devotional service worthy in the heart of the Lord. Because we can do tapasya, we should do tapasya, but the tapasya should be in line with what the masters want, what the Lord wants. Otherwise, simply doing tapasya and doing it for personal sense aggrandizement and kind of popularity or fame, all that will not bring anything closer to pure devotion service. So it is important for us to, when we are trying to see this distinction, we are seeing Hiranyakashipu, who is a demon, and we are seeing uh, Prahlad, who is a devotee, pure devotee. However, if we try to refine our study in this, so then we will see three types of people being talked in the Shastras. अभक्त अभक्त मतलब इंग्लिश नहीं अभक्त मतलब नॉन डिवोटी एंड देन सकama devotee sakama bhakta and nishkama bhakta. So these three, in that also, in the sakama bhakta we'll see two types of bhaktas. One are like demigods or pururava or daksha, who remain attached to their program despite worship of Vishnu. And there are others like Dhruva who become purified by worship of Vishnu, although they were Sakama devotees. And in the Nishkama devotees also we'll see two types of devotees, which is one is the sadhakas who are aspiring for pure devotion service, but still not still in the conditioned stage. And then there are the Shuddha Bhaktas, Mahabhagavatas like Srila Prabhupada, who are completely on the loving platform to the Supreme Lord. Both are Nishkama devotees. It is not that someone who is a sadhaka, who is aspiring for pure devotional service, he may have material desires in the heart, but not a material aspiration. That is what comes as anya vilashita shunyam, because he is pure in his consciousness in terms of his desire to serve the Lord, or I should say aspiration to serve. That is his goal. He has no other goal now. He is not worshipping the Lord for any lower thing except pure devotion. He wants just pure devotion service. So he is also actually a Nishkama devotee. But he is not purified to the degree that he is situated as a nirguna bhakta, if we say, he's doing nirguna bhakti, but not nirguna bhakta, So these three kinds are there, avaktas. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentions karmi, jnani, yogi. All three are avaktas only. Not that jnani and yogi are somewhere thoda to they're doing something. No. In fact, some of them are daityas also and rakshasas also. So sometimes people see, that's what Prabhupada is saying here in the purport. He says, he is called a daitya despite so much austerity. It is because whatever he did was for his own sense gratification. So there are sometimes people are impressed by very high-fi austerities. अरे my God, what type of austerity? आप लोग तो बस जप करते हैं, उनका देखो ना क्या तप है. So tapasya for what purpose is important, you know. Otherwise, one who is doing it for sense gratification, he can be a rakshasa also, he can be a demon also. So, three types of people: abhaktas, sakama devotees, and then nishkama devotees. So, we will try to see what makes a difference to each one of them in these items which Srila Prabhupada listed. First, the nature of the process, which is about like when we saw Prahlad is doing very simple, sweet devotional service, while the um, Hiranyakashipu was doing severe tapasya. But why I have added these two other layers, the Sakama devotees two layers, and also the Nishkama sadhana sadhaka devotee, because that is where many of the devotees, many of the people lie. If we, when we are studying this, then in ISKCON we may not find any abhakta, non-devotee. But then we will see in our life or in the community, people from everyone from a demigod type of consciousness, where one is a mixed devotee with attachment to keeping his attached life, to a dhruva, to a sadhaka, to a pure devotee. Other four categories are all visible in ISKCON. So we have to see that how we can ensure that we move. If we are anywhere in the lower layers, we can move to the at least to the Nishkama devotee, sadhaka, and eventually for Shuddha Bhakti, Shuddha Bhakta. Now understand it. So in the nature of process, well, non-devotees, they have very severe drive austerities motivated by ego, power, enjoyment, and even impersonal liberation. Shobri Muni was doing austerities under the water. Now we can't, we drink water, we don't do, you know. So there's a lot of ego involved, and that ego also makes the person do offenses to Vaishnavas. So when the process is very severe, the person becomes more conscious of the severity of endeavor, and he thinks I am great because of that. But the the devotees of the Lord actually don't become proud. They don't have any selfish ideas, selfish ego. After doing big austerities also, like Srila Prabhupada did so much. He went all over the world preaching Krishna consciousness, but he did not ever become proud. He said, I am a non-entity. I'm a non-entity. I'm simply following my spiritual master's order. So the austerities in devotional service don't make us proud. No? And they are done in sweet love. So Sakama devotees, they are very calculative in their effort. They are very, they will take vows, expectations, and this at least should happen. So Sakama Bhakta also, actually, because of his orientation towards the bhakti process, he is very hardworking. Hardworking not in the sense of a devotee, as a pure devotee, hardworking because he has to do a lot of hard work, you know, like internally effort heavy. You know, dam laga ke aisha. You know, why? Like say suppose say I am chanting the holy name. Okay, I'll give my personal example. Once when I had just come to devotional service, first time I came to Pune. So I had come Kunjbihari Mandir. So I would stand in front in the Mangalarti and Radheshampu would stand there. And then I would be like, Samsara Dao, you know. So I was like trying to be very absorbed apparently. But my basic absorption was whether Radheshampu is seeing me or not. You know? You know? So lot of effort goes in trying to impress, you know, that I'm doing some devotion service nicely. You know? After some time, when I saw that Radheshampu is not at all interested in seeing only, you know, no comment came, then I became bored and I understood I cannot impress a Vaishnava. You know, I can only please a Vaishnava. So all these foolish ideas of impressing increase the labor in the effort. Otherwise, if we want to please, that effort which the ego takes is no, that is only required for impressing. For pleasing, we don't need that. So mixed devotees, they do a lot of efforts because of that. Like you know, when once his guest Gaur Gopal Prabhu asked Jana Nivas Prabhu, of course, I think it will lie more in the Nishkama Bhakta thing. I am talking the principle of effort and the effort. So he was asking, Prabhuji, please bless me that while chanting I can control the mind. So Jana Nivas Prabhu gave him a tulsi leaf offered to Krishna. And said, Asiddhiti Bhava. You know, may you get over with this controlling propensity. You know, one man, one devotee asked Srila Jananivas Prabhu that, Prabhu, when like sometimes I am able to really feel that now I'm only with the holy name. I can see that I'm only with the. So is it that that is the time we are in Shuddhanam or something? He said, when you are with the holy name, you're not thinking all this. You know? So, so it's not like you're controlling and saying, now I'm with the holy name or something. You're with the holy name, no? Like if you meet, say Parampuja Jayapataka Maharaj comes and you're meeting. So it's not like you're thinking, now am I with Jayapataka Maharaj? No, you are with Jayapataka Maharaj. No? So you are with Maharaj. It's not like you're consciously thinking that. So all this is coming from the Jnani ideas. You know? So when someone is practicing pure devotion service, the effort reduces because the nature of pure devotion is much different than Jnani Yogi ideas. So initially, even as devotees, we do take certain efforts which are yogi type or jnani type, but gradually pure devotional service takes over the life of the devotee. However, the Sakama devotee, when I'm mentioning here, they are actually result oriented. Like for example, I'll tell you in book distribution also, when there is a Sakama idea, hmm, so person is very greatly endeavoring that somehow my score should be better than the other person. You know, my name was not announced; their name was announced. This increases a lot of heat. You know, one can be peaceful that he did the devotional service. Lord has accepted his devotional service. Lord has become glorified. But because Lord is not supposed to get glorified, I should have got glorified for the score. That increases a lot endeavor like anything. So this sakama tendencies increase effort actually. You know? So they take severe vows and they cannot break the vow because if they break the vow, then reputation ka kya hoga, na? You know? Like once, uh, of course, it's a positive example. Like Radhashambhu was doing Kartik Vrat and he was not taking any sweets. So one day he went to his spiritual master Shiva Radhanath Maharaj, and Maharaj was giving cake to everyone. Now, Radhashambhu does not take cake even in ordinary days. What to talk of sweet and when he is taking no sweet day. Anyway, so Maharaj gave sweet cake to everyone. And Radhashambhu was not taking. Then one devotee told Maharaj he's taking the vow of no sweets in this Kartik month. Oh, then give him two. Give him two. And and immediately Radhashambhu took both. You know? Because he's not attached to being the austere guy that I am the person who did this like Shatakratu kind of thing, you know. I did not eat sweet. You know? That's not the goal of life to not eat sweet. You know? The goal of life is to please Guru and Krishna. But it's not like after that anyway vow is break on so rest of the Kartika let me eat sweet. You know? And when I understand the principle, then one can actually bend for the real goal. You know? So the Sakama devotee cannot understand this logic. Priyavrat was doing austerity like a brahmachari. If he was stuck with that idea, then he would have told Brahmaji, sorry sir, I cannot become a grahastha for you. You know? So he is ready to bend because he's flexible. And the ego is not there. But the ego, when it is very strong, the Sakama Bhakta actually has to do more endeavor. Nishkama Bhakta, only sweet devotional service based on trust, taste, surrender, no pressure. Simply, no ego. You know, you can bend like you have seen a trapeze. Huh? The trapeze goes from like this. They can bend. So Vaishnava can be bent by the masters because he has no motive except pleasing the master. Relationship with the Lord. So Abhakta, he is actually the Lord is displeased with his disposition. I wanted to show you one verse. Um, Actually, all this what I'm saying, and there is something to corroborate it, but I will not be able to show everything. Uh, okay, I'll show this. See, in this purport, this is 1829. In that, Prabhupada actually mentions about this Sakama versus Akama Bhaktas. Uh, Foolish people think that devotional service is flattering the Lord to get special mercy. Actually, the pure devotees who are engaged in the transcendent loving service of the Lord are not a mercantile community. A mercantile house renders service to someone in exchange for something valuable. The pure devotee does not render service unto the Lord for such exchange, and therefore the full mercy of the Lord is open for him. Suffering men, needy men, inquisitive persons, and philosophers make temporary connection with the Lord. That is Artho Arthyarthi Jigyasu Jnani to serve a particular purpose. When the purpose is served, there is no more relation with the Lord. A suffering man, if he is pious at all, prays to the Lord for recovery. The mercy of the Lord is open for the pure devotee, but he is reluctant to. Sorry. The mercy of the Lord is available to the suffering man, but he is reluctant to receive it. That is the difference between pure devotee and mixed devotee. Those who are completely against the service of the Lord are considered to be in abject darkness. These are abhaktas. Those who ask for the Lord's favor only at the time of necessity are partial recipients of the mercy of the Lord. And those who are cent percent engaged in the service of the Lord are full recipients of the mercy of the Lord. Okay, this has got stuck. Okay, yeah. Now, this is a very important verse, 3:9:12, in which Srila Prabhupada actually brings a great distinction between these three types of people, how they satisfy the Lord. So one of them is only satisfying the Lord. The demigods in the celestial heavenly planets who are appointed administrators of the material affair are also devotees of the Lord, but at the same time they have desires for material opulence and sense gratification. The Lord is so kind that He awards them all sorts of material happiness more than they can deserve, more than they can desire, but He is not satisfied with them because they are not pure devotees. So they get rewarded, but they cannot satisfy the Lord. The Lord does not want any one of his innumerable sons to remain in the material world of threefold miseries of to perpetually suffer the material pangs of birth, old age, disease, death. The demigods in the heavenly planets and many devotees on this planet also want to remain in the material world as devotees of the Lord and take advantage of material happiness. Pure devotees are not desirous of any material enjoyment, nor are they averse to it. See, they are not desirous, nor are they averse. They completely dovetail their desires with the desires of the Lord and perform nothing on their personal account. Arjun is a good example. He was ready to fight for the Lord's pleasure. And then he says, non devotees, however, this one. Non-devotees, however, are like neither the demigods nor the pure devotees, but are averse to any transcendental relation with the Lord. They have revolted against the Lord and must perpetually undergo the reaction of their activities. So, Prabhupada says the Sakama devotees are self-interested because they do not think of others, and therefore they are not able to satisfy the Lord perfectly. Whereas the pure devotees of the Lord take the missionary responsibility of turning non-devotees into devotees, and they are therefore able to satisfy the Lord more than the demigods. The Lord is unmindful of the non devotees, although He is sitting within everyone's heart as well wisher and super soul. However, He also gives them the chance to receive His mercy through the pure devotees who are engaged in missionary activities. So, three types of people He says. First is uh, non devotee. So, Lord does not deal with them directly, but He shows mercy to them by through the pure devotees. And then there are the Sakama devotees. For them, Lord gives them the reward of whatever they are desiring, but He is not satisfied with them. But the pure devotees of the Lord is so satisfied that He offers them the mission because He knows that this guy is not getting going to get troubled. When Prabhupada was given all so much opulence, Prabhupada just remained fixed in pure devotional service. So he can be empowered unlimitedly and he will use all that empowerment for preaching Krishna consciousness. So they take the load of the whole preaching. So they are supremely satisfying the Lord. Not only they don't do any selfish idea, they are not asking Lord for anything selfish. Rather, they take over the anxiety of the Lord. That is why this beautiful verse says, Tomara hridaye sada Govinda Vishram Govinda kahe namora Vaishnava param Tumhara hriday sada Govinda Vishram. Govinda is always getting anxiety from all the living entities. Ye karna hai, wo karna hai, this desire, that desire. So Sakama devotee does not give him relief. The abhakta never gives him relief. But the Nishkama devotees, they say, Lord, we will don't have any desire. We want to satisfy you. Very nice, beta. So what is your problem, O Lord? My problem is that these living entities are not coming. So he says, I will take that anxiety of yours. You know? In the Haridas Thakur Samvad with Lord Chaitanya, he says, Chinta na kariya. You know, Haridas Thakur tells the Lord, Lord, please don't worry. And Prabhupada writes, this is the devotee. The devotee removes the anxiety from the heart of the Lord. So because Lord not only is not getting fresh anxiety from the devotee, rather he relieves the anxiety which he is already having for other fellows. So because of that, the Lord can do Vishram. You know, ठीक है मैं सोता हूँ तुम जाओ. You know? So the Lord can actually do Vishram. So that is why the Lord is super satisfied with his pure devotees. The Lord is so satisfied with his pure devotees that he wants to give them the credit of missionary success, although he could do the work personally. This is the sign of his satisfaction with his pure Nishkama devotees compared to Sakama devotees. So if like when Ravana wanted to lift Lakshman who was apparently lying murchit, so Ravana tried to lift him, but he could not budge him an inch. And then he left, and Hanumanji came and effortlessly lifted Lakshman. So Lakshmanji is actually Adi Guru. So we want to lift the mission of the master of pure devotion service to the degree we become nishkam in our heart. To that degree, we can do the propagation of pure devotion service mission. Otherwise, Guru is very heavy. We can't lift him actually. But pure devotion service can be lifted by pure devotion service only. The mission is a very important task. That's why Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, both of them said, if I can make one pure devotee, my mission is successful because he can take the mission ahead. So this is an important verse here for relationship with the Lord. So abhaktas displease the Lord with their disposition, and they are given mercy through the pure devotees. Sakama bhaktas, they do not satisfy the Lord, although they get their desires fulfilled. Nishkama devotees, they take the mission ahead, and they are protected by the Lord all the time. You know. Then the third distinction which Prahlad versus Hiranyakashipu was dealing with other living entities. Prahlad is Suridam Sarvabhutanam versus Hiranyakashipu is terrorizing the whole world. You know? So abhakta is creating fear, competition, disturbance in society. Whether Jnani, Yogi or Karmi, all are in that category. Because like Durvasa Muni, wherever he goes, everyone is fearful. My God, you know, anger, anger management, So there is fear. There is fear because all this there is controllership, proprietorship, enjoyership strong, and that thing disturbs other living entities. The Sakama Bhaktas also have this propensity, although it is mixed because they are obedient to the Lord. So the demigods also try to control, like Indra was trying to control the Brajvasis, and he was showering thunderbolts and Samvartaka clouds also, and so that controlling propensity makes them do harm to other living entities also at times. So in the pure devotion, in the devotional service, in the three modes, you will see there is in the tamoguna, rajoguna, and satoguna. So in the tamoguna bhakti, there is harm to other living entities also. And in rajoguna, one is wanting to be popular and all that. So basically, we trouble other living entities for selfish purpose. We see even to the degree of Dhruv Maharaj. In Dhruv Maharaj's case, when he was doing the austerities of devotional service, his austerities led to choking up the 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 air and all that in the demigod's case. So the pure devotional service, when done with motives which are less than the uh, pure devotional service, the devotional service is given by Narad Muni, but he is having motives. It does not lead to a very uh, that's why we say devotional service in the three modes. Devotional service is never in the modes. It is the person who is in the modes while doing the devotional service. So because Dhruv Maharaj had his own passion to get a higher planet and all, so it had that contamination to lead to some trouble for other living entities. While Nishkama Bhaktas, they are very friendly. Rather, they are not only friendly, they are not only non-threatening. They go out of the way to save others, serve others. Haridas Thakur was being beaten by these prosecutors, in the 22 marketplaces, and then he, for their benefit, they said that, or you are not getting killed, we will be killed because of this. He said, oh really, you will be killed if I am not killed? Okay, I'll die, and then he went into internal samadhi, and they thought, oh, very nice, and then again came back later on. So he's a well-wisher. Dhira dhira jana priya priya karo. So he's actually a well-wisher of all living entities. Sarva jagatam prinanam, you know uh, pure devotee of the Lord. Even even in the sadhaka stage, it is true. The Shubhada stage comes in, Shubhada symptom of pure devotion service comes in sadhaka stage only. One starts loving all living entities, and all living entities love him. That is sadhaka stage. So, at the Nishta platform, one manifest. This is a very important one to work upon. Actually, when I was preparing for this session, this took maximum time of mine. Because what made Dhruva get purified, but not the demigods? What makes that happen? Because that is very important. Because see, all of us may have material desires, but how material desire is allowed within the situation of devotees, but we have to get purified from it. So what made it happen? So anyway, purification, avakta remains aswaric only. Sakama bhakta. So there are two things which are very vital. One is the Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. Akama Sarva Kama Va Moksha Kama Udharidi Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Jajeta Hi Purusham Param. There Krishna Chakati Thakur mentions Tivrena Bhakti Yogena means it should be Jnana Karmadi Anavritam. Then it will lead to what happened to Dhruva. While the demigods worship of the Lord is just occasional when they need something protection, trai, now demons are attacking, asuras are attacking, so let us get protection from. They know the Lord will protect. They try to serve the Lord, but they have attachment to their own position as the primary thing. On the other hand, if you see Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, he surrendered fully to Narad Muni. So he had a guru, Vaishnava guru, and he surrendered to the guru fully, not as an incidental thing. He fully surrendered. He felt that whatever he gives is actually what is good for me. And if you see demigods, they have also this Brihaspati as their guru. But they took Brihaspati only as an advisor for keeping their role. You know, they were not taking Brihaspati to get pure devotional service. Actually, they were not taking Guru to mold their life. It is like he is supposed to serve our desires. So when we take to the Guru, like if we see even the case of Kardamamuni and Devahuti. So Devahuti, after first incident, actually Kardamamuni is ready to give her transcendental realization. He says, because you have served me so nicely, you are fit to receive the same realizations which I have received. But he says that I want a child, and then she wanted her beauty back and all that. And at the end of all that enjoyment in the material world, she says, I've been solidly cheated because I did not associate with a great soul for the right purpose. And after that, the step comes where she actually receives divine knowledge by the mercy of Kardama Muni through Kapil Muni. So we can have a pure guru. He is not having any blemish, but what is our approach towards the guru is important. So Sakama devotee, if he is having surrender like Dhruva, then he can rise. And second is Tivrena Bhakti. That means Jnana Karmadi Anavritam. So actually Anyabilashita is also not the disqualification to enter into the pure devotional service realm. Pure devotional service is Anyabilashita Shunyam. But to enter into pure devotional service, if someone has, like all of us also, when we came to like devotee life, if someone had told na dhanam na janam na sundarim, डिवाइस के टाइम पे बोला था आना है तो ये करके आओ आई थिंक एवरीवन वुड हैव गॉन आउट नो वन वुड हैव एनरोल्ड ओनली रजिस्ट्रेशन टाइम पे क्वालिफिकेशन राउंड ना जन्म ना सुंदरी so many desires were there but somehow Vaishnavas have cleansed us because Anyabilashata Shunyam was not there but what we took to the process was under the masters and the Jnana Karmadi Anavritam no other holding no other process is taking shelter then actually it can wash away everything. So the Sakama devotee, if there are two types, so we have to see that there are devotees in ISKCON who will hang on to the demigod mode. Actually, they want kursi, they want to have popularity, all that, and that is what they want to primarily have. And devotional service is incidental. Versus a devotee who is like Dhruva, he surrenders to Guru. If Guru says, "Get lost from this post, get down. I want you to get purified," so he will be ready for that also. So if someone is ready to bend according to the master, then the master will cure his diseased consciousness. So surrender to Guru is very, very vital in the stage of Sakama Bhakti life. And those who are aspiring for pure devotional service, they will also witness the bejas of desires in the heart, but they will remove them as the weeds try to come. So they are even better than Sakama devotees. They have desires in the heart, but they don't want those desires. Their core desire is only one. I want to please Guru and Krishna. And with that core desire, they can wash away all the lower desires. So they are very close to Shuddha Bhakti. Actually, they are doing Shuddha Bhakti only. Shuddha Bhakti in the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti is done with contaminated mind and senses. But it leads to Shuddha Bhakta platform because one is doing it with adherence to Guru and Shastra. How with contaminated mind and senses we can do Shuddha Bhakti? Because one has become fixed in the instruction of Guru and Shastra. He will not budge an inch from that. That faith he has got. That's why he moves on very fast. So he does not get troubled. So now this whole thing depends on one main factor, which I'll just close with, which is faith. How actually because of faith everything changes. You know? Because like if someone has developed faith that Shuddha Bhakti, now I don't need anything in this life. I don't need any other benchmark. What do my other people say? What does my mind say? What do the stars say? I want only Krishna. And what Krishna wants, I will get from Guru, I'll get from Vaishnavas. Karishya Vachanam Tava. I want to please you. My only desire is to do your will, O Lord. If he has become fixed in this, everything else just gets washed away in the oblivion. But till the point the person comes to this faith, he thinks, Thoda, I have to secure for myself also. There is no security in trying to secure for oneself. The real security lies in being fully surrendered to the masters. But because the person does not have that faith, he's thinking, something I have to secure for myself also. And that time, he may be Sakama Bhakta. I'm not talking about the Abhakta. Obviously, they are into useless things like Hiranyakashipu, you know. But the Sakama Bhakta, the general, like the demigods, they will have faith in Krishna as a fulfiller. Okay, Ashirvad, and and he will give us what we need, what we want. But the greater faith, which is of like Dhruv Maharaj, he developed complete faith in Narad Muni, and thus he could do Sharnagati. So actually, to move through this whole jungle of material desires, forest of material enjoyment, it is of paramount importance that we develop Shraddha and Sharnagati. That is the quintessence of bhakti. And Lord Chaitanya came, he says, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Daya Kori Soparshada Sviya Dhama Sahavatari Atyanta Durlabha Prema Kori Baridan Sikhayo Sharanagati Bhakatera Pram. So he's saying he wants to give Atyanta Durlabha Prema. What is that Atyanta Durlabha Prema? That is Vraja Prema. Prema is there in the spiritual world in Vaikuntha also. Atyanta Durlabha Prema is Goloka Prema. Atyanta Durlabha Prema Koribare Dan. He wants to do Dan. But for that Patrata is Sharnagati. So he teaches Sharnagati. Sikhaya Sharnagati Bhakatera Pran. That alone, it is not that he changed the criteria to attain pure devotional service. Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam. The Sharnagati is the prerequisite to enter into the. He has lowered the bar where we can start practicing devotional service. But to enter into that pure devotional realm in the spiritual world, Sharnagati is the gateway. Without that, we will not taste the bhakti rasas which the prema bhakti is promising. The bhakti rasas can only be tasted by a person who has first ensured Sharnagati. So when we become Sharnagat, Nishkama, in the heart we have full faith, whatever Guru and Krishna say, that is all what is good for me. So then we actually become free from any anxiety. We are fearless like Prahlad. So once His Holiness Bhakti, His Divine Grace, Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Swami Maharaj told a story, and I was when Radhashambhu told it, was very beautiful. He said, one time one tiger was chasing a cow, and both of them jumped into one puddle, which was actually a quicksand. And then the cow was also drowning, and tiger was also drowning. But the tiger was growling also over this cow because he is the. But he can't now walk also into the quicksand and go to her to eat her, and the cow is calling out to get help, and the farmer comes and pulls out the cow, and this tiger keeps growling, and he dies in the quicksand, you know. So so Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj ji shares the principle of the tiger is like the impersonalist, who want to devour, but they don't have any help to call out to. There's no one to call out to. But the devotee of the Lord is helplessly calling out to the Lord, and Lord will come and save him. You know? So, although both are actually drowning in the material existence, but because the devotee has taken shelter of the Lord, he will actually go back to Godhead, while the tiger will die, although he is more powerful. So Prahlad survived, Hiranyakashipu died. You know. So more we actually live the pure devotional paradigm of life, or gradually purify our existence from Sakama Bhakta or Sadhana Bhakta, gradually see how we can become more and more pure in our disposition to the Lord, then we can actually experience the sweet life of Bhakti. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Should I take question or close? Okay. Any questions? Yes, Prabhu. Mike, anything? Okay, you can see. I'll. Yeah. First of all, many of you may not be Sakama devotees. You may be actually Nishkama Sadhaka devotees. So, but the nature of the devotee's heart is to see any material desire with the feeling that I am a Sakama devotee. But many of you have actually developed deep aspiration for pure devotion service only. I'm just speaking the principle because it is true that there are in ISKCON there will be people who get locked at that point where they become Sakama. So those I'll just mention one thing before I answer your question. Dhruv Maharaj Prabhupada writes had to lament at the end. So the Sakama devotees also become purified if they have taken to the second step, not the demigod wala fellows will not get purified. But if they are like Dhruva, they will get purified. But the problem with that is, Prabhupada says, we will have to lament later that we approach the Lord with the material motive. He lamented for four things. He felt, I did not take the first instruction of Narad Muni myself. Second, he felt, I approached the Lord with a impure desire. Third, he felt, I have to, I desired revenge. I desired harm to my stepmother, and so that is why they are going to get harmed now. So I forgot the fourth one. There was one more. So those things one will have to lament. So these desires are actually later on a very big pain point after we receive the pure devotion service. That is like kacham vichinvanabhiti. So your question is how do we walk above it? Actually, Shraddha and Sharanagati is very easy to receive, although it is with the rarest gift, but it is the property of the pure devotees. So we should associate with the pure devotees for receiving that faith. They are like we are Kangal, they are Malamal. You know. আমি তো कंगाल कृष्णा कृष्णा बोली धाई तब पाछे पाछे कृष्णा से तोमार कृष्णा दीते पार तोमारा शक्ति आछे. What does it mean, Krishna se tomar? Actually, Krishna is not controlled by the devotee. Krishna is controlled with the love of his devotee. Because they have actually developed that love, they can tell Krishna is ready to be a puppet in their hand. These devotees who have got the faith in the prema stage is the culmination of faith actually. So they have lot of faith, they're ocean of faith, and they can give us, you know, like we hear about Srila Jagataka Swami Maharaj, you know that video is then unstoppable. You know, my God, what a personality! So the jiva when he has got pure faith and he has got so much love for the Lord that he can do anything. Prema is the stage where for no matter what condition comes, the relationship does not break. Lord can test him to any extreme, but still he does not break. That's what we see in these great masters. So because they are ocean of faith and we are beggar, Amito Kangal, you know, and you are Malamal, thoda do. And they are very merciful personalities also, fortunately. You know. So then, you know. So he's a merciful person. He has a lot of money also, and we are beggar. And so we should be very, very deeply concerned to please them and attract their grace. And their grace will give us Shuddha Bhakti, that faith. There is no other place in this whole creation to get that. They are the only sole monopoly of the pure devotee. It is. It is a sole monopoly. That is why it is rarity. Sudurlabha bolte hai na, pure devotional service. Sudurlabha why? Even Krishna himself cannot give it. It is the sole monopoly of the pure devotees of the Supreme Lord. They can award it. And they can wholesale award it. They can award to everyone. Krishna will not object. Hey, itno ko mat do, thoda kam ko do, no? That is the power of pure devotee. So we should become destitute beggars before them. We should do all our efforts to please their desires. Whatever are their desires, we should take it as our life and soul and do whatever it takes to please them. Then we will receive that Shuddha Nam, that Shuddha Shraddha. That is the only hope, Prabhu. And that is a great hope. Okay? Yes. And if there is Shraddha, there will be Sharnagati. There is Shraddha. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur put Shraddha and Sharnagati together only. If there is Shraddha, there will be Sharnagati. If you have faith, you will surrender. If you don't have faith, then only you think, Karu nahi karu, you know. Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, you tell me what time I should. Okay.
If some devotee is not able to chant in morning and feeling very sleepy from past months, and due to bodily condition or some maybe aparad or some past sins which he had, so the person is struggling a lot. So will this come in that Nishkam Bhakti or Sakam Bhakti? Because he's struggling a lot. He's doing a lot of austerity in
But this
morning.
cannot be, we cannot know what is it. It is not like Sakama or Nishkam based on this. Like says, many of our great souls also suffer sometimes to not come for morning program. That is not like they are doing Sakama Bhakti or something. Actually, this classification is not like this. The class, someone can struggle, but the struggle is it can be completely pure devotional service in Shuddha Bhakta's struggle. It can be Sadhana Bhakta's struggle. It can be Sakama Bhakta's struggle. There's no, it's like two different parameters we're talking. But yeah, we can talk about that we should be sincere in our struggle. See, when we see devotees in our Sangha, there are five types of devotees. There are people who are right devotees. Right devotee means those who are following the standard code of conduct. They're right devotees. There are people who are wrong devotees. They're not following and they don't want to follow also. You know? Then there are struggling devotees. They want to follow. They're really concerned to follow, but they're struggling to come to the standard. Then there are different devotees. Some may not be actually struggling. They just have a different situation. For example, someone is not coming to morning program because he has pujari seva or kitchen seva. So he's a different devotee. You know. And then there are ignorant devotees. They don't know only what is the right thing. So that is why they are not following. You know. So we should be where we should not be the wrong devotee at least. You know. बाकी सब ठीक है. You know. Either be right devotee, struggling devotee, different devotee, or of course ignorant भी नहीं होना चाहिए. From ignorance we should rise to knowledge and do the right thing. So when we try to see everyone in the same box now, either either you're doing right or everyone is wrong, then we neglect the other three categories. We judge them. And if we say everyone is right, just trust the sincerity of everyone, then the wrong guy goes scot free and he gets punished by Maya. So we have to be able to discern what is going on in our life also, in others' life if we are leaders. Okay? Okay. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. As we were discussing the two types of Sakama Bhaktas and Nishkama Bhaktas also. So can we have also have means Abhaktas also are there categories means some maybe as we were discussing also
Abhaktas, Jnani, Yogi, and Karmi. Na? There are three categories. Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives. Abhakta category. Karmi, Jnani, Yogi. All are Abhaktas. Their faith is in the Lord, is not in the Lord. They have their own idea. हम खुद ही करेंगे. करो. क्लेशो अधिकतरस्तेषाम्.
Some may be innocently ignorant.
No one is innocent in this world. When Param Pujya Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj was asked, why do bad things happen to good people? So Maharaj said, good people don't come to this world. No one is innocent, you know. Some people say child is very innocent. He's just innocent looking. No one is innocent. You know? Yeah. Actually, you will see children when they fall also. Like if they fall, they'll cry. And if someone is there, they will cry more. If no one is there, they will become quiet. Some drama, you know. They want popularity, you know. They want some people to give attention to them. That's it. No one is innocent, Prabhu. Everyone has his own those past sanskaras to handle. So we have that core desire. इच्छा द्वेष समुत्तेना. No one is innocent. द्वेष है हमारे पास. उसको क्लीन करना हमारा जिम्मेदारी. So yeah, ignorant बोल सकते हैं. Innocent नहीं बोल सकते. ठीक है? Okay.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for this wonderful Srimad Bhagavatam class. So my question is, how do we come from the core Sakama to Nishkama? Because when we
Core Sakama. What is that core Sakama? I never used that term.
because when
Demigod
we
you
see,
are talking, huh?
when we see from outside Maharajas, sannyasis in ISKCON, we see that
You
they
know, the
take
core
up,
Sakama, do not ask this question, what you are asking. Indra was never into this idea only. See, when Lord Vishnu gave them opportunity, he made them meet two personalities, Dadichi and Vritrasur. In fact, they were giving wisdom of pure devotion service. So Lord wanted them to get some feeling of guilt and understand what is higher path. But they remained stuck to their lower idea only. You know? So much so that Dadiji is saying, how shameless it is that you are asking for my bones. And they are very, we should sacrifice for others' cause, it's such a selfish life they could lead, shamelessly, You know. He told that actually Vishnu has told, I am anyway doing it. But what. So he exposed left and right their selfishly, you know. Yeah. Vritrasur also exposed. Clearly he was exposing him. But he couldn't, and he could understand. He's pure devotee. But मेरा क्या होगा? मैं ऐसे ही हूँ ना. You know? Prithu Indra. Prithu went. Prithu was actually. See what happened when Prithu got the benediction. Lord came. Lord was very happy with Prithu, and now he said that you give forgiveness to Indra. Indra did not say, ठीक है अभी मैं समझा, you were right, actually I was wrong, you can do the 100th agni. नहीं 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 नहीं. I want to remain Shatakritu, but I beg forgiveness for all the nonsense that I did. He still wants to retain his position, although Lord has clearly declared that I am pleased with Prithu. So those who are your core Sakama, na, they don't ask this question only, because they're stuck in that whole mess. They don't like to get out of it. You know. So Lord works very hard on their case, but he does not get any help from them. The jiva is stubborn. You know. So, I don't know whether I answered your question. So it is about who will remain core or who will, it is see the Lord will keep trying, but the free will of the living entity will remain. Prabhu. Lord will try, pure devotees will try. If someone wants to remain stuck on the other idea, what can be done? So the only hope is that he only changes. There is no hope otherwise. It's not like no one will do so much balotpadita that somehow he will take away the free will of the living entity only. You know, Lord and the pure devotees also work with our pure free will by giving it an attraction for the pure devotional realm. But if the jiva is stuck on the lower idea, what can be done?
like when we see
If we develop appreciation, attachment to a great soul, we feel I am very fallen, but they are very pure. I want to please them. There is hope. There is hope. But he is not, that means he has developed feelings of appreciation for pure devotional service, well, and glorifying them. Then he has hope to rise above this lower nature. But when he is stuck, he does not, ठीक है वो लोग बहुत ऊपर के लोग हैं हम तो यही करेंगे बाउंड्री बना के बैठे हैं नो देन नथिंग पॉसिबल ठीक है
Means when we see Maharajas and sannyasis, they're undergoing a lot of struggles. At least from an external point of view, it seems that they're going a lot of hardships. Of course, that is to make a lot of non-devotees into devotees. But how do we understand that they are rightly situated in that pure devotional service and actually develop some appreciation for that?
Yes.
They are actually more joyful than the Sakama Bhaktas.
Yeah. So Prabhupada, read this purport quickly.
In
Okay, I'll read it for
executing
quick. In executing penance, one must be determined to return home back to Godhead and must decide to undergo all types of tribulations for that end. Even for material prosperity, name, fame, one has to undergo severe types of penances. Otherwise, no one can become an important figure in this world. Why then are severe types of penances for the perfection of devotion service? An easygoing life and attainment of perfection in transcendental religion cannot go together. The Lord is more clever than any living entity, therefore, He wants to see how painstaking the devotee is in devotional service. The order is received from the Lord, either directly or from the through the bona fide spiritual master, and to execute that order, however painstaking, is the severe type of penance. One who follows the principle rigidly is sure to achieve success in the attaining the Lord's mercy. Answer. So Prabhupada has given everything in the purport. You know? So they are doing severe types of austerity to please their spiritual master because they have fallen in love with the master. And in love, unlimited austerity they will do. When Madhavendra Puri is walking to Puri, he is not counting his endeavor. There's beautiful shloka that says, na, Dukkha na ganila. You know? He's not counting any endeavor. He's only counting, I am able to please the Lord. So he's not facing any inner द्वंद्व इतना क्यों मेहनत करा रहे हैं he is happy, he is blissful in his service to the Lord. Love does not bring any feeling of, when I asked his Jananivas Prabhu, please tell us about the austerities that you did in your early days in Mayapur. He said, what austerities? We are simply serving Prabhupada. What all austerities they did? They were, at one time there was a place where all these personalities like Jabata Parampuja, Jabata Kamara, Jananivas Prabhu, Pankaj Angripur, and all of them, they were staying in a place where some of the devotees had to sleep in the bathroom, in the toilets, in the bathroom. There was people were sleeping on one staircase. Huh? We have rooms and mosquito nets to sleep in. You know? So what type of austerity? But what is he saying? Where which austerity? The big mosquito bite boils. Which austerity? Because they are absorbed in love. You know? When Jananivas Prabhu he told that I decided I enter brahmachari ashram and I'll think 2 years I will give full absorption. And after that I will evaluate whether to take up this process or not. After many years I remembered I had to do that evaluation. So they have lost their heart to Krishna. After that they just carry on. You're getting that? Austerities become not counted in the mind of the devotee. You're getting that? Austerities come as a byproduct of their pure love actually. Okay? Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ji ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I'd like to heartily thank His Grace Antardvipa for such a wonderful description of difference between Sakama and a Shuddha Bhakta and how to go from Sakama to Shuddha Bhakta. And request Prabhuji to keep coming and giving his mercy
Hare Krishna.
and then chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Also very fortunate, the devotees from ISKCON South Bangalore ICC, they have come, all the brahmacharis have come for Brahmachari Sangha today. So let's welcome them. His Grace Sangari Prabhu, Karnamurti Prabhu, Chaitan Prasad Prabhu, Vanmali Govind Prabhu, Swam Prakash Prabhu. So we are very, and many other devotees. So let's welcome them here by one time chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. So Brahmachari's prasadam will be in the ashram, 6th floor. Devotees can come there.